Hello everybody and welcome to my new and improved piano tutorial for Howl by Florence and the Machine. The only difference from the old one is that I babbled a lot in that one. And I also forgot to teach you guys I think it's the bridge. So I'm going to get right into it. Now, there are 3 chord progressions in this song and I'm going to teach them to you. Okay. The first chord progression 1, is D minor, C, B minor. Okay. So it's D minor, C, B minor. The second progression is C, A minor, B minor. Okay, so it's okay. And the third progression is just the first progression played backwards. So it's going to be alright, so now basically you know the entire song, we just gotta figure out where to put all this stuff. So we'll dive right into it. Okay, so actually the verses and the chorus are both first progression, so we're gonna go. If you could only see the beast you made of me, I held it in, but now it seems you set it running free. Screaming in the dark, when we're apart. Drag my teeth across your chest to taste your beating heart. Now the pre-chorus is where we bring in the second progression. The pre-chorus is where she goes, taste your beating heart. My fingers claw your skin, try to tell my way in. The timing's a little weird on it. It's like there's a bit of a pause. It's like, but if you listen to the song, you can kind of get your hands wrapped around that. Well, that sounded weird. That came out wrong. But yeah. So it's like, so you go. My fingers claw your skin, try to tear my way in. You are the moon that brings a knife for which I have to howl. My fingers claw your skin, try to tear my way in. You are the moon that brings a knife for which I have to. And then back into first progression. The second verse, which is the same. Keep going with the first progression. Now there's no holding back, I'm making to attack. My blood is stinging with your voice, I want to pour it out. The saints can't help me now, the ropes have been unbound. I'll hunt for you with bloody feet across the hollow ground. Second progression. Like some child possessed, the beast howls in my veins. I want to find you, tear out all its tenderness. And back in the first progression. Goes into the we keep going with that progression and she kind of adds more to the chorus. She goes, be careful of the curse that falls on young lovers. It starts so soft and sweet that turns them to hunters. And then they kind of chant at this part. You play the chords and she's like, hunters, 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 hunters. And then we go into kind of like the little bridge part, which is where we bring in the third progression. And it's just the first one played backwards. She goes, the fabric of your flesh, pure as a wedding dress. Until I wrap myself inside your arms, I cannot rest. The saints can't help me now, the ropes have been unbound. And at that point, you actually don't play the last chord. They kind of go into this lull without any music right there. So she goes, the saints can't help me now, the ropes have been unbound. I'll hunt for you with bloody feet across the hollow. And then back into first progression for the rest of the song. she says ground, actually. The whole ground. Well, it doesn't really matter. You know the lyrics. Anyway, and it goes like that for the rest of the song. And it might sound weird. Like, I know I have a really hard time getting into the key that she's singing, therefore the chords sound wrong, but I know the chords are right. So just kind of fiddle around with it. It's going to sound a little weird, that last little part. It's all that first progression, so just kind of mess around with it and see what you're comfortable with. And I excuse my raspy voice and all that because I'm sick. I got it from my mother, then gave it to my sister, so we're actually all sick right now. But I hope this was very helpful for you, and I was glad to redo it. And I hope I look a little nicer than I did in the last one, because that was a fat time in my life.